Practice has been pretty good. I mean, me as a coach, I was just ready to get to this week and get through the mock game, but I think it went well. We got a chance to show our players how we were going to do things on game day and really live out the purpose of the mock week. So it's been pretty good. Now we're here, and we get a chance to get a couple of more practices in for Chadron.
And then speaking of Chadron, what can you tell us about what Chadron's going to bring? I know you guys have been watching a lot of film on them from previous years. What can you tell us about them? Yeah,
it's a little different because normally when you're new and they're not, you got a better feel. They got a new offensive coordinator. Based off their 2 deep, it looks like they've changed some things on defense, going from 3 down to 4 down. So the most consistent thing about them is their quarterback, not knowing the system that they're going to be in necessarily, but he's a good player. They got a good linebacker, number 30 on defense, and they've run around a little bit up front on both sides. And so their O-line is probably the most experienced unit on their football team. And then they've got new guys in the kicking game. So I think now it's kind of like both of us are new. And when both teams are new, we think you have to go back to your core, which is the execution of what we do and not necessarily what they do.
Questions?
So the guys talked a little bit last week about, Aaron's, I'm studying film, and D-Mitch is twitching all over the place. How's your blood pressure this week and the heart rate and the preparation now that you've got an actual game?
For me personally?
Yeah.
Pat, it's nervous wreck. And I say that jokingly, but, throughout my whole career, it's been about going 1-0 every week. Now you have to go 2-0. You have to beat the test on Wednesday, and then you have to go win the game on Saturday. And so I've been very proud of our guys the last couple of weeks because we've been winning the one game on Wednesday. So we got to clear that hurdle tomorrow, and then maybe once we clear that hurdle tomorrow, I might get a little bit more antsy. But I've been waiting for this moment my whole career. To be the head coach of a prestigious program with guys that really want to play football. We are excited, but we just kind of take it day by day.
Last week you guys did this almost in prep for. Do you think that helped you kind of a little bit in the swing of things? Did that kind of, now that you've been in the motions, does it feel like?
Yeah, a guy asked me today on the radio. How much of a real game are we going to try to make this like? Well, every time we walk out there and put on these shoulder pads and jerseys, it's a real game. And that's our program now. Like, I don't know what used to happen before, but when we walk out there and there's another team, it's a real game. And so I think last week did help us to get ready for how we do things being a new program. But these guys have been ready to play for a really long time. And so I'm really more excited for them than I am for anybody, because people don't really understand what they've been through, not just since COVID, but since January. We've changed this program inside out, and they can tell you, and they've bought into it and been fighting. So I'm excited for them to be able to display what they've learned.
I know the schedule's been a mess. You kind of had the first game for a while now. Mm-hmm. Has that helped knowing who's up first? Do you guys taking 1 week at a time approach? Or?
Yeah, for us, man, it's we're so new. Like we really don't know who we are against somebody else. So for us, it's just been focusing on the things that we do, trying to make sure our program is steadily growing. And now we just happen to have a different opponent. But the first opponent we've always had was us. And so we've been trying to beat that opponent for a really long time. So I think now we're on pace.
Guys, as far as what Coach said, trying to figure out who you are, can you see an identity of this team starting to emerge a little bit now that you understand the X's and O's of the game?
Yeah, Coach preaches it every day. We have our 4 pillars, and Coach reminds us every day of who we are and where we're going as far as our direction. So, Coach says you got to see it to get there. So we've been trying to see it, and we're almost there, and we're just going to keep working until we get there.
You're an actual wide receiver now.
A little bit.
It's like a little different.
Right.
Splitting out a little bit wider than normal. And
Yeah, it's definitely different. I think that I've always had the skill to play a role like that. I think Coach Fulton coming in and expanding the offense a little more is going to open up just some opportunities for a bunch of guys on this team. And I think that we've had all this time to prepare, and now we can finally go out there and show everyone what the direction and everything that we've been envisioning and kind of put it on paper and on film for everyone to see.
Can you see an identity of this team?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. It started off slow, and I thought with everything, all the unpredictability of COVID, and I didn't know if we were ever going to have a season or if we were ever going to be able to fully practice together and see it come together. But these last 4 weeks, we've definitely made some strides, and I think getting the pads on, we can all see it now.
And I know a lot of people have said, you get your year of eligibility back for next year, whoever wants to come back, and this season doesn't count. It doesn't look like you guys are taking that kind of an approach. I mean, Coach said, we win all our games, we're getting a ring, and we're going to put the little COVID sign on it, and the whole bit. But, I mean, what do you say to people that say, well, the season didn't even count?
Well, they must not be winners, because everything I do, everything that coaches do, everything that Dagan does, and probably the whole team, I know everything we do is to try to win. So this season means something, especially for our seniors. We got some seniors that don't want to come back, well, that can't, because they're done with school and want to go further in their aspirations. So this means something to us. We're doing it for our seniors, and we're doing it for our program. We got to get a foundation established and go forward.
Is that kind of what the chatter has been like amongst the players? Because Coach kind of talked about how you guys are looking for your new identity, but from what you guys have seen from years past being here, and obviously COVID and new coach, I mean, this year is a completely different season. What is the chatter amongst you guys and what you're saying coming up for this Saturday?
Just win, man. I mean, go find a way to win. Be a playmaker and be a full team. I think we've had hints of it last year, years before, and this summer, but we got to put it all together and be a full team, and that's all three phases and just in general being a teammate. So we just got to put it together. I think that's what we've been preaching, and just go win.
Jump in there, Dagan.
This Saturday, I think we just got to start fast. Not being able to go against another opponent, I think, is kind of just wears on us, and we're like, really, these guys again? Like, we don't want to go out there and just hit ourselves every day. So I think going out against someone new, that we're going to start fast, finish faster, hopefully, and just show people what we've been working on for the last months.
I know the ones didn't go very long on Saturday, but both offense and defense, when they were out there, looked game sharp. Did you guys kind of see that the pieces are falling into place the way it's supposed to look?
Definitely, 100% they are. I think the scrimmage before, you saw the offense we started slow, we let little things take the best of us and just had momentum killers and things that stopped the drive. And I think this last Saturday we came out with a plan and we executed, and that's the biggest thing. If we execute and we don't hurt ourselves, there's no way Chadron can stop us.
Yeah, feeding off that, I just think as far as the whole team, especially coaches, we're just never satisfied. So that's just going to help us this Saturday, and the guys are just ready to go play someone else like Dagan hit on a couple minutes ago. We're just ready to go hit someone else.
Coach, as a defensive-minded,
Go ahead.
as a defensive-minded guy, how do you prepare for a team you haven't seen before, a quarterback you haven't seen before, a running back who comes from UCLA and somehow ended up on a team in Nebraska, so you got to prepare for that. So how do you take this week and take your experience into this Saturday?
When I was a defense coordinator, I used to tell the defense, this is and always will be about us. We've now carried that over to the rest of the team because we really believe that. In football, I think people make it too difficult for players to play by trying to scheme this and scheme that. We don't do that. We have our systems. We believe in them. Our players believe in them. We try to fit our systems to the best of our players' abilities. And this is and always will be about us. And that's why when I talk to people about playing, we laugh and joke about saying we'll play the New York Giants anytime, anywhere. But that is serious because we never really believe it's about the other team. We always worry about us and what we can control. And we know we can control our attitude, our effort, and we can control the schematics in which we install. And so is it difficult? No, it's not difficult at all when you live by that motto. of it is and always will be about us.
Last week it was the Packers.
I mean, I'm going by records. I'm going by records, Patty. Like, you know, yeah, Packers 4-0 and the Giants 0-4. We'll take the Giants.
Last week you talked about the team kind of taking over the locker room. When they did that, you guys would be a team.
Yeah.
And I think since then, you guys officially announced captains.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a smooth transition? Team voted on it, or those guys already took leadership roles? How was that?
Yeah, so 3 of the 4 captains were already on our leadership council. So I think as a program, we got it right. And then the 4th captain, Reed Rowan, he's just on a different level right now. You normally have those guys coming out of fall camp in August that something hit them and they just on a different level. And I think these guys would agree that he's that guy. And so I think the team saw it. You know, we've been saying since we walked in the door here in January, when the team takes over the team, then we'll have a team. And until that point, I joked last week about I'm good for 6 or 7 wins if I lead it. If they lead it, we can win championships year in and year out. And I think that's the direction that we're headed in. I think we got there faster than what I envisioned. But these guys they really bought into and submitted to what we do in the program, and you can see it.
From your guys' perspective, are you kind of same way, team captains and smooth transition? Or?
Yeah, and I think we have 2 or 3 more dudes that could very well be interchanged, and that's the beauty of it because we got a lot of dudes on here that are, you know, leaders and want to be leaders and actually show it. Luckily, we got voted, and the other 2 dudes. And like I said, it's just nice to have other people that weren't voted, like Aaron Howard, Remington Green, Bo. They're all leaders. So we're the captains, but we got a bunch of leaders behind us that are going to take over the team as well as we will.
And the team's kind of bought into that. Everybody kind of knows leaders. Having other leaders, does that almost help being a captain?
The captains were established less than a week ago. So I'm excited for this week to come out and actually get a little motivation behind them. We have some motivation with the game. And I think the team has bought into the group of leaders that we have and turning more to the team and relying on each other to hold them accountable, discipline and everything, instead of making the coaches do all that work. Once we can don't have to have the coaches get us excited or just do the little things that we preach about. Once the team takes care of that, there's no limit to what we can do.
Coach Jackson mentioned the other week that he's like a huge energy guy. How does that translate to you guys as players, or how are you excited, or how's that energy going to build for you guys this week, having fans in the stand?
The fans will definitely help. As I touched on earlier, we've been hitting each other the last months and months. So we already have some energy that's coming just because we know this Saturday we get to hit someone else. The fans, that's an added bonus to go out there, and in this time of uncertainty and really unpredictable, we didn't know if we would have anybody, but we were still going to go out there and hit someone. But the fans definitely will bring some added energy and help us start off fast.
And building off that, Coach always preaches energy. I mean, you see a lot of teams that are supposed to win, but they don't win because the other team is more energetic and more enthused. So he's been hitting that a lot so we can be energetic, be disciplined, and do the right things. And if we have all 3 of those while being energetic, we're going to be unstoppable, I feel like. So energy is key.
How's the transition? I mean, the offensive line is pretty different from last year.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an awful lot of new guys. Are you starting to figure out the fits and everything and where the holes are going to be for you?
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. So, I mean, we got Kaylin, Ozzie, a bunch of new freshmen. And so I think we're all on the same page. I mean, Jack's stepping up, Cobley's stepping up. And I think we all got it figured out, and we just got to go hit someone else. You know, it's different when the same defense we play every day kind of knows what we're doing. But when Chadron, they don't know exactly what we're going to come out with. And I'm excited to see what these dudes can do because they're players.
You know, it's funny, we got 5 new offensive linemen. We were watching the Chadron game from a year ago. None of those guys in that game are playing for us in this game. We've got 5 new ones, and I honestly think we're better on the O-line than we have been because we've got more athletic guys, and then we've got guys that are bought into one vision in our locker room that these guys have set. So it'll be interesting because when you got 5, you're really kind of nervous. And you go, I really don't know. But I'm more excited to see this 5. I think Coach Barella has done an awesome job of getting these guys prepared. And so you're going to see a starting 5. There's probably 8 to 10 guys in that room that can help us at any point. And they're being developed, and they've been developed more than what they were when we got them and when we started in January. So that's an exciting room to watch.
Man, Rattery is a large human being. Tackle.
Yeah.
Watch was like, he's big, and he's got good feet.
Yeah.
I mean, for his size, the defensive line obviously is one that can go get some people. It looks like.
Yeah, we wanted to be big and athletic up front on the D-line. I think our coaches went out and found those guys. There were some guys here, Logan Bayes and Reed Rowan, that we've changed some techniques that they had, and they've in the defense that we run, they've really blossomed. And so Coach Early has done a good job with those guys and making sure they run to the football and play with the proper technique. But definitely Brian is a huge human, and we're excited to have him. But we've got a couple of huge, large human beings that are athletic. Brian Rattery can dunk a basketball. He can do a backflip. You watch his highlight tape. He's doing some things at 330 pounds that a lot of people can't do at 130 pounds. So we just got to keep getting him in shape with those big guys.
First guy that you don't invite to the team barbecue. He wants to be first in line. But
well, you invite him, but you make him get a salad.
Yeah.
He's last in line.
Offensively, were you guys excited to just unleash on somebody else this weekend? I mean, obviously, like the offensive coordinator, brand new offensive line, you talked about that, but what do you guys really like, man, like this weekend, it's gonna go down?
I kind of said it on the radio this morning. 2 words, discipline and explosiveness. I think we got a lot of dudes, him, me, BJ, Brad. I mean, the list goes on. A lot of explosive players that can make plays. And so this weekend, I think we're excited to showcase that and just show what we can do. Put up points more than ever. Try to lead the RMAC in points.
I'm just excited to score a lot of points. I think we got some weapons on this offense, and with a new coordinator and a new offense, I think we're going to shock a lot of people and put up a lot more than everyone's expecting.
All right, question of the week.
They're on offense. Everybody wants to hear about offense. People think I'm a defensive guy. I'm neutral. Like, I blow the whistle fair, don't I? I'm trying to be fair.
All right, question of the week. What's your pregame ritual? Whether is it something you eat the night before? Is it when you put your socks on? The way you put your uniform on? That's for you too, Coach, when it gets to
That's a hard question. I think one of the things I do the most is going out on the field and running the field and stretching every time, going out to the opposite side and running the field every time. I think I do that every single game, so that'd be my pregame ritual.
I'm not
plays.
I don't have too many. Honestly, if I had one, I'd probably just a few songs, a little playlist that I have that I'll probably play 30 minutes before every game or so. It just carries over from high school, that song that my high school coach would play before every game, and so I'll listen to that, and that's about it.
I'm a gospel music guy on game day. I really like to listen to a lot of gospel music and take a shower before the game. I don't know why I've always done that, but even as a player, I'm about to go get sweaty and dirty, and I would take a shower right before the game. And so I've kind of kept that in my career. So somewhere over at Stoker, I'll find the shower.
Hey, I like taking showers too. It wakes you up. Like, even if you don't need to take a shower, it just wakes you up. Makes
There
you
are
feel
showers over there. It just depends on if they let you out.
Yeah, well, it'll be a bowl of water or something. We'll get it done.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.